cows, and we don't ride them. We don't have horses.
There's an elephant in this room, Mike.
There is. I've never ridden an elephant, though.
Yeah. It's just been staring at us this whole show.
Yeah. He wants answers.
I've been throwing peanuts at it.
The elephant wants answers. Because as we discussed pre-show, this is obviously a pretty massive deal, your return to the airways of DFW.
Bigger than it should be.
Perhaps. But it is a big story. And certainly in the soap opera that is DFW radio, this is the hottest thing going right now. And I find it fascinating, and I think a ton of listeners do, and I think we'd be doing them a disservice to not address it even more thoroughly than we did yesterday. I mean, we did it sort of surface level yesterday. I don't know that we need to get too in depth, but it's sort of up to you how you want to handle this whole thing. But I think here at The Freak, part of the fun is letting it rip and not shying away from topics that we know are interesting because they might be uncomfortable. So there's a news article out, even with quotes from some of our friends and former coworkers that seem pretty unhappy with your decision to return to radio. So I figure your initial thoughts on addressing your return to radio and the reaction that you seem to be getting from our former employer, the Ticket.
Well, first of all, not surprised by it. Secondly, sorry they feel that way. Thirdly, I've satisfied every obligation I ever had over there. I spent my time there. I served out my non-compete. I owe them nothing. So if I want to do this, I can.
I don't want to be like the interviewer here. Like, that's not how I want this conversation to go. But what about those that say your legacy was so entrenched with the Ticket that you had, I don't know, that this was your legacy and it was perfect and you built the perfect thing, which most of us still consider it to be. I mean, those are all, at least in my mind, some of my best friends, probably my best friends that still work over there.
Yeah, some of mine too. At least I consider them that way. I will consider them that way until they tell me I shouldn't. But I don't know. I guess I understand why they're a little bit butthurt about it, but I don't really know what to tell them. I hadn't planned on getting back into the game. I didn't think I would. But in this world, there's always that one thing that can come up. And when that one thing comes up, you got to make a decision. Do I want to do this and see what happens, or do I want to not do it and wonder for the rest of my time on the planet what would have happened if I did do it?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I was with the whole thing.
Well, and it seems like somebody who did what you did in this industry at that station, wherever it may be, you've kind of earned the right to do things maybe a little bit more on your terms. And you found something like that here, where you can do what you want, when you want, talk about whatever you want, with whoever you want.
Yeah, it's a little different situation here than it was there. Not that it was a bad situation there by any stretch of the imagination. I stayed there for 26 years, and I think a whole lot of my time there and everything we did there and the way the thing rose and turned into what it turned into. But that was then and this is now, and if I want to find something like this to do now, I think I have the right to do that.
Do you think that you consider this to be an exciting new challenge versus, even in this Dallas Morning News article, again, a partner of the Ticket that released this article? Because to my knowledge, they don't talk about this on the air. But do you think that going back there would have been not a challenge?
First of all, I don't think they wanted me back there. I don't think they would have wanted me back there. I never broached the matter with them, but I don't think they would have wanted me back there, and there would have been so many strings attached that it would have been very embarrassing for me to go back there. I wasn't about to do that.
Because they're sort of playing the angle that you never contacted them about wanting to get back on the air.
No, I did not. I did not. I never intended to do that. If the option were go back there or not do it at all, that's a no-brainer. I'm going to not do it at all.
And as we discussed, this is your 5th or 6th radio station you've worked at in your life, right?
Somewhere around there.
So because one of them, the most recent one, happened to be an incredible, iconic success, does that sentence you to not being able to work again or do what you want to do or have fun somewhere else?
I don't think so.
Just because one of them really, really worked.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yep.
I don't think it does at all.
I love the way you put it. This, you wanted to do this.
Yeah, that's it.
You wanted to do this, and he has the prerogative to do whatever he wants.
Yes.
Just because you built something that was successful doesn't mean you're indebted to it till you die. I mean, an opportunity was there, and something I love about this, Mike, and you've said it, it created a whole lot of opportunity for a lot of other people, too. None of us would have a job right now. We wouldn't be working in radio in Dallas. And the fact that you can only work at one place or you're a traitor is just weird. I mean, there's multiple news channels, news stations in one market. So I think it's good. It's good for the industry. I don't think that we are pitted directly against one station in particular. We're just doing radio in a big city.
Yeah, we're doing radio in a big city. And look, they are the ticket. They are the kings of the mountain. You know that. I know that. The American people know that.
Yeah, and we know
The
that we
Queen
have
knows that,
opportunities.
too.
Vote Rhyner. Vote Rhyner.
We know we have our opportunities because of the
Oh,
ticket.
no doubt.
Yeah, and there's no...
I love the ticket.
Let's stick it to him, any of that, you
Yeah.
know? Or we wouldn't even be talking
But
about
this
him right now.
Metroplex has 7 million people in
Yeah.
it. Like there's
And
room.
more than 9 of us in the Metroplex, of those 7 million, would like to do radio.
Yes.
For a living wage.
Yes. And we have that opportunity now because of this and because of
Because of
Mike's
Mike.
decision to do it.
And they have the opportunity
To continue
that
to do
they
it.
are continuing to
And
do.
the people who fill
because
the
of Mike.
gaps of our departures now
More opportunity.
have more opportunity, and
Yeah, I think
Hopefully-
this is an everybody wins situation.
that's kind of how I look at it.
Yep.
But the tribalism of the ticket is an incredibly powerful thing.
I know, and the thing that really tilts it a certain way is that back in the, and this is before the time of either of you there, but back in the early days of the thing, I instituted a lot of that. I just drilled down on it hard with those guys that everybody thinks we're going to fail. We got nobody out there in our corner. We got nobody but us. And so we got to band together and fight the fight. Just us.
And it worked.
Yeah, it did work. And we did. And you see what happened.
I think they're all doing okay.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they are indeed.
And so are we.
We're on our way.
Yeah.
We are very much on our way. I think good things are going to be ahead for us here. Now, are they good enough to where we will take down the ticket? I don't know. Time will tell. We'll see. But right now, what we got to think of is coming in here and doing the very best that we possibly can every single day.
Yeah.
That's what's ahead for us.
And we can revisit that question in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And, maybe that'll tell the tale. But what do you think of, quote, he destroyed relationships that have been in existence for 30 years? It's heartbreaking and unconscionable.
Well, I don't think I destroyed anything. If I destroyed something, that's because of them and not me. You know, if I got a call from any of those people today, I would take it and I would talk to them, and it would be a lot like none of this ever even happened for me. Now, I don't know if that's how they would play it, but for me, it sure would. I don't think it's unconscionable. And in my view, I did not destroy relationships. Because for me, those relationships persist, and they always will.
Did you create the bunker?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We created the bunker mentality, for sure. Us against the world, man.
And it's genius. And I have, I always said because of my paycheck, I was near the bunker. We were outside with a spear guarding the bunker.
You were really close.
We were on property.
Yeah, you were bunker security.
Yeah, exactly. They're in the bunker, and it's all spiced meats and the finest wines. But I was proud to be near the bunker for a very long time. Mm-hmm. But it's very genius how that you created that mentality for the station itself, and it led to a lot of the success of the station. But the listeners of the station, I mean, some of them are like, blank you guys for even trying anything. Like, their initial reaction is to be so defensive to protect the ticket, which, fine.
Yeah,
but it's weird to be like,
I understand
F
that.
you.
Well, I don't know what to tell those people. I mean, what should I tell them? What should I say to them?
It's my life.
Yeah, that's right.
You do what you want in your life.
That's right.
We'll do what we want in our lives.
The words of the great Eric Burden, it's my life and I'll do what I want.
I love it. It's interesting.
It's wild times.
It is wild times.
I know Ben and Skin addressed this a little bit earlier, and this will, you're on zero hook, but let you off the hook for lack of communication over the last couple weeks and months. Because a lot of our friends have texted us and people you literally love.
Yeah.
And you couldn't tell them. And there's assorted reasons for that, and I don't know how to want.
All right, to that, I would say and have said that they ought to understand that as well as anybody.
Yeah.
Because this same veil of secrecy that we tried to throw over this in the days leading up to us going on the air, we did that at the ticket too. And we pulled it off a lot better. Now, granted, back then, it was a whole lot easier to pull something like that off than it is today. But that's another thing that was really preached over there, is we got to keep this secret. It's not going to do any good to us for any of it to get out, because nobody knew who we were back then. Nobody knew us. And if they found out that we were going to do the all-sports station here, we would have been laughed out of the game before we even started by them.
Did you guys make it to air before? I mean, did the news break anywhere prior to that? In a newspaper would have been the only option, I guess?
It was only just a couple days before anybody had any real time to react to it. I'm sure they all thought, well, that'll never work. But because that was the vibe on sports radio in general in this town. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why this is. Somebody's going to have to explain it to me. Nobody ever has. But the general vibe on sports radio was that you can't do it here. It'll never work. And I asked people this. I talked to them about it before we started. And they said, why? I said, well, number one, you need a team to cover their game, to carry their games. You can't get that. Number two, you need a big signal. You can't get that. Number three, you'd need big name air talent. You can't get that. And that's all well and good, but nowhere in there did anybody tell me why we couldn't do it.
Right.
You know?
That's just things that they're saying.
Yeah. Those are just reasons why they thought it wouldn't work, but nobody in there really told me of any substantial, tangible thing that would keep us from doing it.
Not in their local papers with quotes and all this stuff, and there's not too many elephants in too many radio station rooms.
Yes, the Sharon Grigsby of Atlanta has not gotten a hold of a story like this.
I mean, it's exciting. Yeah. It's exciting for us where we are. We're proud to be here. And honestly, I look at this as good people having fun. That's all this is.
It's exciting for me to be here. And I don't really think about, what's going on over there or what they think of it or anything. It's just exciting for me to be here. I'm getting to do what I wanted. This came up. I didn't anticipate it coming up, but like I say, it was the one thing that if I didn't do it, then I was going to wander around the rest of my days at 2:00 in the morning every night wondering, what if I'd done that?
Yeah.
Was there a moment that clicked that you're going to do this? I mean, I know it was a series of moments and interactions and conversations, some of which I may have been involved in, but was there a look in the mirror moment of, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back to another station and do it full time, no fill in, no, because you had every option on the table. You could have done a Monday, Friday thing. You could have done a couple days a week. You could have done an hour a day. You could have done your own solo show for an hour or 2 hours a day. I mean, whatever you wanted, PDs would all say yes to.
Well, I'm an all-in guy, though. If I'm going to do something, I'm going all in on it.
Love it.
And if I can't go all in, then I'm probably not going to be terribly interested in it. This presented me an all-in opportunity. So here I am.
And a couple days in, how are you feeling?
Wonderful.
Are you?
Yeah. I'm feeling like I did the right thing.
Good.
Hell yes. I think you did.
I can't imagine this moment not existing now that we're in it. I'm
been
glad it's here.
It's been very slow yet very fast, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. It's been going 20 miles an hour in a school zone, yet 100 miles an hour at the same time.
Yeah, but your face is peeled back. And
Yeah.
your eyes and your ears are open.
First place in the slowest bike race.
Yeah, the slow bicycle race.
That's our 97 won the free. First place in a slow bike race.
We got it. We got it, team.
Well, I'm glad you made the decision you did, Julia. I'm very obviously glad that you are part of our station in one form or another, and hopefully it's with us a handful of the time because I think you're amazing. But these are good times, and it's fun at our ages even to be like involved in something new, exciting that people care about, that people are willing to even S on us online about, or give us props and be proud of us for. Like either side of that, it's like we have huge changes going on, and you more than anyone else, Mike. So high five.
Yes.
All right. Speaking of Mike, he is known as Baseball Jesus, and he's got the tale of Roger Maris and sort of how it applies to Aaron Judge's chase for the home run record that's going on in Arlington right now. We will do that in